I always enjoy listening to Christmas music, but I much prefer listening to different artists and styles. So I decided to put together a collection of my favorite Christmas songs and artists. Then I thought, why not tell the Christmas story through these songs? In essence, come up with a sequencing of songs that tells the whole Christmas story, a Christmas opera, more or less. Since this is the most sung about event in the history of time, it should not be that difficult. I know I hear you saying this guy has way too much time on his hands, but it was actually less time consuming than you might think and quite enjoyable. Obviously, it has to start with Bing Crosby's It's Beginning to Look a Lot Like Christmas, which sets the stage. The next few songs are about family coming together and describing the Christmas season. For Him's version of White Christmas sets up the next sequence experiencing the outdoors. Jim Brickman's Fireside starts the indoors celebration. We all enjoy rocking around the Christmas tree and presents, but it's the sharing of love, especially between husband and wife, that brings deeper meaning to the season. The songs by Celine Dion, Mariah Carey, The Carpenters, and culminating in The Gift, sung by Colin Ray and Susan Ashton, express this theme. But Celine Dion brings up a good point. Don't save it all for Christmas Day. For Him continues with that thought and, in essence, asks, how can we hold on to Christmas this year? Amy Grant's response is her grown-up Christmas list, which expresses even greater global wishes that we all share. A wish for peace, that everyone would have a friend, for right to always win, and that love would never end. Wishes that I think can only be fulfilled by the story revealed on the night before Christmas some 2,000 years ago. Jim Brickman's beautiful piano and Kenny G's soprano sax tells us that these dreams come true, and then Brickman interprets angels announcing the story. Vanessa Williams then asks, do you hear what I hear? And Stephen Curtis Chapman's guitar responds with Carol of the Bells, just in case you missed it. The next four songs set the stage for when, where, who, and what God's precious promise is all about. My favorite sequence then begins. Ave Maria introduces and sings praises to Mary. Breath of Heaven is Mary expressing in prayer to Jesus her weakness and fear of the events about to occur. Jesus reassures her and says that soon He will be in your care, a beautiful song that you may have never heard. Listen closely as it begins as a prayer request and then ends as a promise. Then the heavenly host at Jesus' side joins the nation of Israel, led by Phillips, Craig, and Dean, praying powerfully, O come, Emmanuel. I struggled with finding the next song to describe the actual birth of Christ, and finally chose an instrumental. It may not be my favorite style of music, nor yours, and you might not recognize the significance of this song unless I mention it. But it seems to me to express the peacefulness of the pre-birth manger scene, the sudden ebb and flow of the birth pangs, and the final triumphant delivery. Therefore, Bach's Jesu, Joy of Man's Desiring, is really the centerpiece of the whole story. I hope you enjoy the birth experience through this song. The next three songs reflect the tranquility at the manger. We are then exhorted to go tell it on the mountain, which begins with an instrumental mimicking someone skipping to tell the good news. The heavenly celebration continues until at Celine Dion's request, the faithful, the little drummer boy, and the Irish tenors lead us back to the manger with the Welsh lullaby Su O Gan. As Mary is singing to Jesus, I've always wondered, Mary, did you know the story would never end? Even Joseph at the manger struggled just like us today with understanding the birth as a strange way to save the world. Avalon then reveals the heartbeat of the story that Joseph probably never realized with the glory Jesus obtained through his death on the cross so long ago. Today, Vanessa Williams questions the relevance of the story in I Wonder as I Wander, and Amy Grant responds with Emmanuel, God is yet with us today. Vanessa then accepts His presence in Star Bright and finally understands that love was never meant to die. But it is more than experiencing individual comfort and joy or realizing that hope is born again. It is recognizing our part in the great commandment to bring others the best gift of all and help them light a candle. This will truly make Christmas the season of love. I saved my overall Christmas favorite for the second to last song. Avalon reminds us that we are the reason for Christmas, and I hope you enjoy it as much as I do. It all ends with Tony Bennett's classic, and my wish for you: have yourself a merry little Christmas.